Hello there, Chris here, Green Sabre, Doom Telly time, episode, 53, I think it is. Happy New Year to you all. This is my first video of 2024, so a long time in coming, but yeah, I've been busy, people, so just, you know, bear with me. Happy New Year, as I've just said. Updates, I suppose. Green Sabre updates as normal. Rehearsing lots. Getting new songs together, so on and so forth. Our first gig of 2024 will be the 29th of March, I believe, which is the Good Friday. That'll be in Bradford. Which I think it's the Tap. Is it the Brewery Tap? Anyway, that's with Dawn of Elysium, so very much looking forward to that. So yeah, we've no gigs planned up until that point, so that'll be our first one. Crow's Blood, the stuff is out, as most of you will be aware. We're just waiting on the physical copies of the cassettes, which are taking slightly longer than planned, but this is usually the fucking case. Yeah, but all going really well so far. Thank you so much for the great reaction to it since we've released it. And finally, it's still not, the official announcement video hasn't gone out because we've been having no end of technical fucking difficulties trying to, long story short, me and Hamish recorded the video, and the file type, Apple likes to fucking update and change things just on a fucking whim. Well, the file type's all changed and so on and so forth. So the massive video that me and Hamish recorded for the announcement won't transfer across, and it's too big to airdrop it. Anyway, we're getting there, and the announcement video will be coming very soon. But for those of you who don't know who Hamish is yet, I can officially announce that I am, as of, well, really, we've started sort of tinkering away in the background in November, and we've been working together since, and it's all gone brilliantly. I'm now rhythm guitars in Godthrim as well. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I can't tell you how difficult it's been for me to sit on this news for as long as I have, because, yeah, I've just been so excited about joining. As you know from my album of the year, Distortions was in my top three, number 3. So to get to the chance to play those songs was just an opportunity too good to miss. And yeah, I've been round at Hamish's quite often, and we've been going through bits and pieces, learning the set, getting the sets together, because we'll have some gigs coming soon as well, which you can see via the Godthrim channel. I'll share a link to Godthrim below, to their YouTube channel. You get all the updates on there, and our announcement video as and when it finally lands. But yeah, it's been ace, and I've been learning new stuff as well. We are currently in the process of recording a new single that'll be out this earlier this year at some point. So yeah, it's been ace. I'm so glad to sort of finally get that off my chest. So yes, I am now rhythm guitars in Godthrim. So it's going to be a busy 2024 with Green Sabre, Crow's Blood, and now Godthrim as well. But I can't wait. It feels like all moving in the right direction, and I'm really excitable about it. So yeah, can't wait. So those are the updates. So yeah, it should be Green Sabre's Doom Telly. It will stay as that as such, but yeah, you will be getting updates from Green Sabre, Crow's Blood, and Godthrim from this point onwards. So stay tuned. Right. Nearly 4 minutes already. I am going, famous last words, but I'm going to rattle through these, because I'm going to do, which I've not mentioned yet, today's video will be the Metal Tag 2024. I've seen loads of videos out there, and I thought, I can't wait any longer. I need to get mine out there. There will be some choices on here and decisions that I've made that you will see on other videos. Others where I've thought, oh, they've said that, so I'll find something else. But others where I thought, no, that's the one I want to discuss, so I'm going to discuss it even though others have. And I think Sean the Beast mentioned Autopsy as one of the answers, which I've stuck with. I'm going to keep with that. I will also be having Autopsy for the same answer. Somebody mentioned Sacred Son, that I'll be having. But anyway, let's get into that. Now, some of you seasoned YouTube veterans that put videos on here have done the Metal Tag 2024. I've watched loads of them, and they've all been ace so far. And even the ones that get the videos down to like a 15-20 minute thing have been struggling to keep these under half hour. You know how I can make the simplest video last for bastard ever. So we're going to rattle through these. So without further ado, the Metal Tag 2024 used to be done by Scott the Rock Scout, but he's He's retired from doing these YouTube videos for now. I think, has he gone full-time with his tattoos or something? But yeah, so he's not doing it anymore. So the baton has been passed, and it's been picked up by, I've written them down, Heavy Metallurgy. Metallurgy, is that how you pronounce the word? And Let's Talk Metal. So it's Marty from Heavy Metallurgy and Alan from Let's Talk Metal. They've taken it on this year. I'll link you down below to the original video with all the questions. The questions will all be listed down below as well, but I won't put my answers on so as not to spoil the surprise. So 20 questions. So that's why there's a lot to get through. Like I say, some I'll fly through, others I might get bogged down in detail a little more. But anyway, let's go for it. So, the Metal Time 2024. Question 1. Got to keep notes. A release that I am eagerly anticipating in 2024. Well, quite a lot, really. But My Dying Bride have got a new one out. I'm really excited about that. And I have had a little sneak peek of a track as well. Just a little bit of a track. So, yeah, really excitable. But, yeah, going to be good. But the one that I'm most looking forward to, this was their last album, Arth. New one out very soon. I feel like it's next month, potentially. I can't wait, because this album is so good that if it's even a fraction as good as this, it's going to be right up there as albums of the year. Can't wait. This is a breathtaking piece of work. And no pressure, Mark. I assume the next one is going to be just as good. Yeah, I cannot wait. Mark's also got another release out that I'm really eagerly anticipating next year. The new Winterfell. Can't quite remember when that's coming out, but yeah, I don't feel like that's a million miles away, but really excited about that as well. So yeah, Arth's the one that gets a mention, but quite a few things that I'm looking forward to. Question 2. The Chinese New Year, and of course 2024 will be the year of the dragon. An album inspired by dragons, or with a dragon on the front cover, or dragons as a... This was the one I struggled with most. I've been through my whole collection and I've got fucking no weird dragon on front of it. I was thinking I must have something. I'm lacking in power metal, so yeah, there's a... And I really struggled. There's probably some songs, but anyway, I'm going for a cop-out, but this still technically counts because it's got dragon in the title. I'm talking, of course, of Sleep's Holy Mountain and the track Dragonaut, which is track 1. Opening track, side A. Sorry, bit of glare there. Yeah. So, I've fulfilled the brief. Don't get me on a technicality there. Yeah. Sleep, Dragonaut. Really struggled with that, so that was the only one that I could think of. So there you are. Yeah. Answered question 2. Okay. Rattling on. Question 3. Favourite album acquired in 2023? Well, firstly, I suppose we could talk about this. What was my album of 2023, which was Ara's Triad 3. Sensational record. Not heard it. Go out and listen to it. Remedy that immediately. But a lot of people, and I believe on the original, the question really meant your favourite acquisition. Doesn't have to be from this year. What did you pick up in 2023 that you're most pleased with? And there's quite a few, really. There was, of course, Celtic Frost's debut. I finally got the first Celtic Frost on vinyl, so I was really pleased with that. Finally got albeit another reissue, Emperor's EP, Emperor Wrath of the Tyrant. Finally got that on a reissue vinyl. Really pleased with. But the one I was most pleased with was finally getting hold of my favourite Electric Wizard record on vinyl. Come My Fanatics. Love this record. I mean, I love Electric Wizard, but I love this one in particular. I think it's fucking fabulous. I love the cover art, and I feel like it's like swamp green vinyl. I can't be asked getting it out because we're not really talking about that. We're just, but yeah, to finally get this on vinyl, that was one of my holy grails of the year. Some holy grails I didn't manage to acquire, but this one I did. So really pleased to get hold of a copy of Come My Fanatics in the collection. Right, that was question 3. Question 4. An album I was happy to buy digitally in 2023, but not the physical copy of. Now, this could be quite a lot because, as most of you know, and it probably breaks strict fucking VC protocol, but I've been downloading more. I purchased, I don't stream, I'm not into fucking Spotify and Apple Music and all that. I believe I still want to purchase the stuff, so I purchased the downloads of things. And I get more and more. There's a lot of my black metal that is purchased downloads that I really that the fucking physical media is either A, really hard to get hold of, or B, really expensive, or C, both. So yeah, and it's not the end of the world for me with it. Yeah, if it's really essential, then I will get the physical copy, and ideally on vinyl as well. But I've been collecting more CD as well, as you avid viewers may have noticed. But to answer question 4, the album that I was happy to get with on digital and not too bothered about the physical was one of my albums of 2023. It's Chino Moreno's side project, Crosses. Image inserted. I can't remember the name of the title. Something about Control, Alt, Delete, Love, Live, Laugh, Love, Die. I can't... Anyway, image inserted. I love this album, and I'm still playing it now. It's fantastic. But I wasn't too bothered about physical media for a couple of reasons. A, the artwork's very nice, but there's not a lot to it. I believe in a lot of the physical media, or some that I've seen online. There's not much more. It's just a few more pictures of the lass that's on the front, sort of on the inside. There's not a desperate need to get. It's not artwork you can immerse yourself in. That's what I'm trying to get to in a long-winded way. And also, it's really fucking pricey. I'm sure the vinyl was like 40 quid plus. Getting hold of the CD was nearer 20 quid. So I thought, fuck that. I'm happy with the download. So, yeah, Crosses. Fabulous album. Overpriced physical. And not desperately needed, quite honestly. So, yeah, that's my answer to number 4. An album that musically... Question 5. An album that musically doesn't match the front cover. Now, I know this band had been mentioned, but I nearly pulled out Big Business. In fact, I probably will do, just to have something different. But for any of you that know Big Business, the two guys from the double drum attack of the Melvins lineup from way back when. It's the other two. It's Jared on bass and Cody on drums. Cody, who's now with High on Fire as well. But Big Business, proper sludgy, doomy excellence, that album, the Command Your Weather album. It looks like Fuzzy Felts. Does that look like a sludge doom album? Absolutely not. So, yeah. In fact, this is probably going to be my choice. I've reconsidered. I was going to go with this, but I feel like someone else has mentioned it. Sacred Son's classic self-titled album with one of your man's holiday snaps on it. I mean, just blistering black metal, that album. And you would have absolutely zero idea of what's... barring maybe the logo, you'd have no idea what's coming on that record from that cover. But I would argue the same with this, with Big Business's Command Your Weather. Most of Big Business's album covers are odd and not what you would think. But, yeah, I'm going to pick this because it reminds me of my youth playing with the Fuzzy Felts. That, yeah, you're not expecting sludgy Stoner Doom from that, are you? Melvins-esque sludge. So, yeah. My answer to question, what was that? 5 is Big Business with Command Your Weather. Okay. Number 6. A metal artist that I've got more stuff by. Well, back in the day, I probably could have easily answered that with Metallica. I had like the cassette format, CD format, vinyl format, T-shirts falling out of the wardrobe. There was that many of them. But over the years, I've either grown out of it, it's withered away, I've sold them, and so on and so on. I don't have the cassettes anymore. I've still got the CDs, but they're packed. But I've got the vinyls of the classics, so I don't tend to dig out the CDs if I've got the vinyl. But, yeah, it would have been Metallica. Probably would have been Maiden early on as well. Certainly the first 8 records with all my Maiden T-shirts and so on. But I realised, think outside the box, Chris. My answer to this, Mike Patton. I, to a point, felt that Mike Patton could do no wrong. I would say in the last 5 to 6 to 7 years, maybe longer than that, 5 to 10 years, let's say, I just feel his quality's just dropped off a little bit. I used to collect everything. I had physical copies of almost everything that he did. In fact, I've forgotten to dig out 2 now I think about it. But yeah, so Mike Patton, I've got all the Faith No More on vinyl. I've got all the Bungle on vinyl. I've got all the Phantom Ass on CD, because most of it's not available on vinyl yet, if I'm right in thinking. One of his side projects. All the Tomahawk on CD. That has been repressed on vinyl, but I'm not desperate for it. I've got them all on CD. So yeah, all the Tomahawk. I forgot to dig out Peeping Tom, General Patton and the Executioners. I've got Faith No More T-shirts. I've got a Bungle T-shirt somewhere. I had a Peeping Tom T-shirt, but it was when I was a lot smaller and I do not fit in it anymore. Got a Phantom Ass t-shirt that I still use, but down the gym now predominantly. But yeah, Mike Patton is the artist that I comfortably have most stuff of. I've got so much of his stuff. And like I say, I felt he could do no wrong. I love almost all of his side projects. And it's just recently that I feel like the modern Bungle, I'm not a huge fan of. It just feels like thrash for thrash's sake. I know that sounds like a stupid fucking statement, but I prefer the old crazy Bungle over just the manic, dated thrash metal Bungle that we're now currently getting, which is with an absolutely fucking stellar lineup. Scotty and Dave Lombardo, Trace Bruins, Mike, Trevor Dunn's the other one, and the bass player. What a lineup. But I want to see the classic Bungle. I want to see him doing like fucking Carousel and fucking My Ass Is On Fire and stuff off of California. That's the Bungle I want to see. I'm not particularly interested in the new thrashy version. So yeah, Mike Patton is my answer to question 6. A metal artist that I've got more stuff by. Comfortably. An album I blind bought in 2023. I don't know whether I answered this album strictly correctly, but I did kind of blind buy it. It was one of them where I heard a snippet of one song and thought, I have to have that record. I bought it on CD originally and then loved it that much that I bought the vinyl as well. And it was thanks to, we gigged with a band with Green Sabre, we gigged with a band earlier in the year, Kill the Witch, at the Underground in Bradford, and they were doing like promos for the gigs leading up to it on their Instagram with Kill the Witch and stuff, and there was one promo that they did, love it, like this great sort of video stuff, that had a band called Hoata, a French stoner sludgy doom band. I mean, there's so much more to them than stoner sludgy doom. But they sampled one of the songs, and I was like, first of all, I thought, Jesus Christ, that Kill the Witch is fucking amazing. Turned out it was Hoata, but and thank you guys in Kill the Witch for putting me onto this band, because absolute revelation, one of my favourite albums ever. And now it's got a fancy Latin Lux Initiatrix Terrae. Lux Initiatrix, anyway. This is an absolute masterpiece. There's elements of Electric Wizard on here. There's elements of Pink Floyd on here. There's elements of Air, French electronic band on here. There's elements of sludgy. It's got everything. If you love doomy, sludgy, melodic wonderment with a psychedelic vibe to it, look no further. Hoata, Lux Initiatrix Terrae. What a record. And yeah, blind bought it literally after hearing like a 10-second snippet of one song. Straight out and bought it, and I did not regret that purchase. Fabulous. That was question 7. Question 8. An album I own on more than one format. I've banged on about this album relentlessly over my YouTube career thus far. But I'm only missing one format of it, I feel like. And that is the audio cassette version, which I can't find for a cheap enough version to, or a cheap enough amount for my Yorkshire sensibilities. So I've bought at it's like 20-25 quid for an audio cassette, which secondhand I'm not willing to pay for, quite frankly. Yeah. If anyone's got any cheap copies or willing to get rid of this album on the audio cassette, I am all ears. Please let me know. It is, of course, my favourite album of all time, Cathedral's Forest of Equilibrium. And I've got a couple of versions of this. This is the original vinyl gatefold press with the sticker from way back in 1991. I have the recent reissue from Earache Records that was reissued on just the black vinyl version of it, mainly to stop the wear and tear of the original. I thought I'll just get a cheap reissue of it so I can play this one instead. Not gatefold though, so you can't really. It's great being able to open up that artwork. So I have the reissue of it there. I have, thanks so much to my brother in Crow's Blood, Lee Baines. Shout out, Lee. He got me this for Crimbo. Love you, Lee. I honestly, I'm absolutely made up with this, because it's yet another version of my favourite album of all time. Comes with the 3 posters of the dark and the light side, one of each. But crucially, it's got the album version of Soul Sacrifice, which is my favourite version of the song, only available on CD previously. This is the only version, to my knowledge, that it's got it on vinyl, that original album version of it, not the EP version. Very different version, and a much better version for me, because it's the feel of original Forest. It's not the ooh yeahs and groovies coming into it. it's got the original Forest vibe to it, and I think it sits beautifully on the album. So yeah, picture disc, so that's 3 versions on vinyl. I've got the original CD there that I got way back when. I feel like my brother might have bought that actually, so sorry Arkid, it's in my collection now. Yeah, original CD press of it that's got that Soul Sacrifice on it as an extra track. And I've got the digipack version of it as well. Now this is what, again, same again, it's got all the present and correct things, but it's nice gatefold digipack thing. You've got the Soul Sacrifice EP in there on CD. Crucially though, you've got the DVD of the making of, which is a brilliant documentary. It's called Return to the Forest. It's available on YouTube, so check it out. It's a really interesting documentary if you like this album, which I kind of do. So yeah, 5 versions of the same record. Insanity, yes, but much needed. It's the greatest album of all time for me. So yeah, right, fucking hell, we're not even halfway through and I'm still at 20 minutes. Okay, Bookworm, an album inspired by literature. I wanted to go with Leviathan here by Mastodon, because I've got the book and the album, but loads of people have gone with that, so I thought I need to pick something different. People have gone with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I can't find the bastard book. I have got it somewhere, but be in a box in the loft somewhere. I have been through them at the weekend, and I've not found the box that's got this in it, sadly, but it is this. Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, inspired by, I've forgotten the author's name, Orson Scott Card, who wrote the book Seventh Son, science fiction. And it's a decent enough book, actually. The album's better, though. The album's fabulous. But yeah, I don't know about all songs, but a few of them definitely, I think, are inspired by, not just the title track, a couple of others, inspired by that book. So yeah, that's my choice for a literary-inspired album. What question was that? Number 9, Bookworm, yeah. Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Okay. Number 10, a band I'd travel miles to see. Well, if they could get the original lineup of Type O Negative back together, I'd travel a ways to go and see that. But that ain't happening, as we all know. This band, though, I have still not seen them live. I know Johnny Mac likes to rub it in because he saw them at the fucking Camden Death Fest, which I so nearly got to, but I had to. I was going to Damnation that year. I had Desert Fest that year. I had lots of other, so I had to sacrifice that, which I still kind of annoyed about because I've not seen this band yet. Autopsy. They come over to the UK again, even if it's fucking Scotland, wherever, I'm going to see them. I'm not missing them again. So yeah. But I've just been talking about them a lot. Cathedral. If that original lineup, Forest original lineup, were to get back together and do like a reunion gig, I would go wherever that happens. So I feel like it's something they could do as well. All the original components are still all kicking around. And I don't know whether all the original components are particularly busy music-wise at the moment. Anyway, if any of you are watching this, make it happen. I want to see the Forest of Equilibrium reunion. And if that were to happen this year, yeah, I would sprint to fucking Ukraine or wherever to watch that. So yeah, I would travel miles to see that if that were happen. So yeah, dream gig. So I don't know whether I specifically answer the question there, but that would be my shout for that. Okay, Sour Grapes, question 11. An album I enthusiastically purchased in 2023, but have lost interest in and just sort of made flat out don't like anymore. A couple of answers for this. I'm going to go with, let me get the pronunciation right, Sanguisugabog. There was a lot of talk about that album of theirs. What was it called? Homicidal Ecstasy. That I downloaded. I don't own any of these that I'm about to talk about physically. They're all download. I enthusiastically went out and purchased. And for the first week or two, I thought, yeah, this is really, really good. Classic sort of death metal, grindy vibe. But I soon got really bored of it. The same could be said with Cannibal Corpse. I've been told by a few people, this is a return to form. And with Eric Rutan on guitar, it kind of is. It's decent, don't get me wrong. But I kind of got bored of it, like I do with a lot of modern Cannibal Corpse. Obituary. Now, I slagged this off on my album of the year, Dying of Everything, their album from 2023. I didn't like that lead single, The Wrong Time, or whatever the fuck it was called. I wasn't sold on that at all, so it was off to a bad start. But I heard from enough of you, no, give it a chance. There's 2 decent songs on it, and that is it for me. The rest of it's just tired shit. I know that sounds harsh, but No, it's not an album I've really ever wanted to go back to. Maybe I should try harder, but no. So, but I kind of, that's why I went with Sanguis Sugabog, because I was more enthusiastic on the purchase. This one I kind of thought, oh, well, people are saying it's all right. I should maybe give it a chance. I tried. Maybe not hard enough, but yeah, I wasn't sold on it. So that's my answer to question 11. Okay, question 12. The Golden Child, an artist that can do no wrong. I could have answered this with Mike Patton, but as I alluded to earlier, up to about 5 or 10 years ago, I felt he could do no wrong. Recently, there's been a few missteps in what I agreed has been... Oh, I forgot to dig out the Mondo Cane album, which is his sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Orchestral versions of Italian 60s pop classics, which is a fucking gem of a record. I love that. Anyway, yeah, so as I've just mentioned there, every aspect of his career I love. I just think he's made a few missteps in the last decade, which is why I'm not going to answer with him again for this question. Like I say, I think Sean the Beast on his Metal Tag 24 video mentioned Autopsy. Someone did anyway, and I'm going to say the same. Autopsy. I just think, no, Severed Survival and Mental Funeral will never be beaten. Those two are absolute stellar bona fide classics. Sorry, my records are falling over there. There we go. And they've not done anything in that league since, let's be honest. But they've been near as damn it. They're just consistently great. They've not done a bad record in their career. They haven't. Shit Fun's probably the weakest, and that's because if you watch the documentary, they're at a particularly low ebb and falling apart at that point, and it's all going a bit sour. And I think you can hear that on that record, but it's still decent. Terrible album cover, but still decent. So yeah, Golden Child for me, Autopsy. Overstayed Welcome. This was a good question, this. A band that should have quit while they were ahead. Well, quite a lot. Iron Maiden would go into that, and I would say Iron Maiden should have quit after Seventh Son for me, personally. Nothing's really grabbed me after that. Metallica, of course. A lot of you answered with Metallica, and rightly so, because they are so in danger of ruining what legacy they had if they continue to churn out the fucking garbage that they have been doing over the last Christ knows how long. I thought, what's another one? Another one that's really... It's almost like two different bands, the great era and the just garbage era. And my answer to this question is, a band that should have quit while they were ahead is this band. Glenn Danzig and his self-titled band, Danzig. This album, 2, 3 and 4 are absolutely monstrous pieces of work. Just fabulous. And that was all with the original lineup. Chuck Biscuit's drums, Eerie Von bass, John Christ's guitar, Danzig vocals. Untouchable. What a lineup. What great albums. Everything after 4 for me has slowly descended into turd. Barring the odd track here and there. And I will say, is it the 8th studio album? Did it come out around, was it 2011 or earlier than that maybe? Red Death Sabaoth, is it pronounced? Red Death Sabaoth. Anyway, that was a bit of a welcome return to form. Decent production on it, and Glenn can still sing at that point, crucially. But some really, really good songs on that one. But that has been a peak in, like I say, a sea of turds. And his most recent stuff, fucking hell. Somebody needs to tell him to stop. I wasn't a fan of Danzig 5, Black Acid Devil, is it? It was... He did away with the old lineup, tried the new stuff, and I wasn't sold on it at all. 6 has got 1 or 2 half-decent songs on it. 7, this name escapes me again. 8, Welcome Return to Form. And after that, forget it. And that Skeletons album of covers, he should have done prison time for that. It's fucking horrendous. But yeah, so Danzig should have quit while he was ahead, because, oh dear. Yeah. Right. Number 14. A release I bought in 2023 directly because of a YouTube channel. I had to think quite hard about this, and I've not got a physical copy of it. It's going to be an image again, but I've purchased lots off the back of Altars of Madness. Shout out, Matt. Great channel. If you've not watched it, he's ace, and he knows his stuff as well. And I've discovered so much obscure black metal directly because of him. I nearly was going to put Black Celice in, what was the album called? Banished from Time. But I've still not managed to pick up a physical of that yet. I've not managed to pick up a physical of this one either, but I have at least managed to get a download. With that Black Celice, I'm struggling to even find a download of it. Insert here. Suda with Helvega, yeah. Directly seen on his channel. Norwegian black metal album last year. It was in my album to 2023. And this is an absolute belter, so thank you, Matt, for the shout out, because I wouldn't have known about this band without his direct mention. So yeah, shout out, Matt. Okay, an otherwise good album that suffers from being too long. Again, I could have picked a lot of Metallica ones, but the argument there would be, well, are they otherwise good or not? So I'm going to pick this one, and I did a ranking of this band, and I think I did mention this on that ranking. It is Mastodon, and their latest, Hushed and Grim. I say latest, it's about 2 or 3 year old now, isn't it? But it's too long. There's not a bad track on it. Now, I know that sounds like a fucking oxymoron, but they're all great. All the songs are great. It's just fatiguing. It feels like it's about 4 or 5 songs too long this way. Strip those 4 or 5 songs off, you have got an absolute masterpiece here. And then do what they did on Emperor of Sand, where they had like 4 songs left over or whatever it was, and released the Cold Dark Place EP. Should have done the same with this. Release an EP with them other 4 or 5 songs on it afterwards. Keeps it relative then, relevant I should say, and vital. But this, I love this record, and there's some absolutely stunning tracks on it, but it's far, far, far too long. Like, it's just, it's fatiguing to get through. And all the songs are great, and it shouldn't be an effort to get through all these great songs. It's too long. So, yeah, Hush and Grim, Mastodon, perfectly fulfills that brief. Okay, favourite band shirt. I nearly dug out the Cathedral one. Just to add to the other things that I own in formats of and so on and so forth. But it must be in wash, I can't find it. So, favourite band shirts. I got this one for the first time that I saw High on Fire. I love it. It's my favourite. It's one of my favourite High on Fire designs for a start, and it's one of my favourite shirts. The classic Richard Pryor High on Fire shirt. Yeah, I bought that in Manchester the first time I went to see him live on the De Vermis Mysterious tour. Yeah. But my other favourite shirt that gets a lot of outings, and you can probably see by the way that the print has already started to crack quite badly, but I fucking love this shirt. Great band, great EP, great album, great shirt. One of my favourite shirts ever, my Confessor Condemned shirt. Yeah, love it. Or is it Suffer? It's got Suffer written on the back. But anyway, Confessor shirt, favourite shirts. Right, okay. 17. A band going for at least 24 years that's still strong and relevant. I could have answered this with Autopsy, and I thought, I've already answered with a couple of things with them, so no more. Otherwise, I would have done. My Dying Bride, barring that little blip, which is 34.788% complete, which has still got 2-3 great songs on that album. Barring that blip, they've been consistently great as well. But the band I'm going to pick is this. It's their most recent effort, Napalm Death. I think they've been consistently brilliant. There's been very, very... You could argue around that period in the sort of late 90s, early 90s, is it, or whenever it was, when there was just an element of groove started coming into their stuff, which I didn't overly sit well with me. But other than that, they've been consistently magnificent. And I think the modern stuff is right up there. I think it's brilliant what they're producing recently. Thrills of Joy, fantastic. Utilitarian, I say modern, it's probably about fucking 12-year-old that now, isn't it? Or something like that. But yeah, love that. And I love this band, and I think they've stayed consistently relevant throughout their entire career. So Napalm Death, my answer to that one. Favourite band mascot? Well, hang on. I don't feel like there's many that are worthy of it. I'll tell you one that isn't, and I should have dug it out, but that fucking god-awful thing that Anthrax used to use in the 80s with Daft Face. Whatever it was, with his "nah" written on everything. Fucking idiots. Yeah, that doesn't qualify. Mr. Rossi or whatever he's called. Eddie, of course. I think he's probably my favourite. The other choice I was going to make was this one. The War Pig. Motorhead War Pig. Yeah. I can't pick between the two, but it'd probably be Eddie, let's be honest with you. So yeah, favourite mascot. 19, grab, random pull. Right, no looking. Oh, bit of Zeppelin. Probably can't show this album now. I'll probably get this video taken down off of the tubes. Yeah, Zeppelin. Yeah, Houses of the Holy. My favourite Zeppelin record, if I did have to pick one. But yeah, that's my random pull. Bit of Zeppelin. It was that. They kind of come out at the same time, but I'll pick Zeppelin. It's either that or Living Colour. Time's up. So yeah. Okay. Final question. Album by a metal band that may not be considered metal. This was a difficult one. And I nearly went with sort of like Unplugged albums or Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies, something like that. But I thought that was a bit of a cheat. And it still feels like a bit of a cheat, but I've gone with this. Deaf Heaven's most recent work, Infinite Granite. I absolutely adore this record. But this is an indie rock album for the most part. There are a few little blasts of black metal from their old black metal days still rearing their head. And I kind of hope that they don't lose it all entirely. But the way this album's going, it feels like they probably will. But this is not a metal record. I mean, the cover doesn't look like a metal record either, does it? However, I nearly picked some of Deaf Heaven's work for the album that doesn't look like a metal record, because most of their albums don't look metal. But this definitely isn't. This is an indie rock record with elements of shoegaze to it and stuff, and just a few hints of their black metal past. So, yeah, that's my answer to number 20. And there we are, 36 minutes. I think I got that reasonably under control. I will wrap it up quickly. So, thank you very much for watching. Really enjoyed doing this, and I was determined to get my metal tag video out at some point. Thank you for persevering and waiting for my announcement, which came earlier at the front. That official video will go out at some point, but yeah, I'm wearing the band uniform already. So yeah, watch this space. Further updates will come, but like I say, I'm going to link down below to the Godthrim channel. So if you haven't already, give that a subscribe as well. And of course, give us at Green Sabre a subscribe too, because we're still busy, still going, still active, still plugging away in the background. So yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. And welcome to 2024. Not sure what next week's video is going to be yet, but you'll just have to stay posted until then. Cheery bye. So long.